Well, hello everybody. How you doing this afternoon? Yeah. I can feel it in my bones that we're going to win. Do you believe me? Yeah. I just like saying it. We're going to win. We're going to win. Now, I say I can feel it in my bones, and I'd like you to feel it in your bones. I'd like you to feel your personal power, because what you're doing right now, your individual act, is in you. It is you being here and your presence that matters. Now, you also showed your personal power by your vote. And that is what happened in May, is that we tossed out the Liberal government and we had an amazing thing happen. We had an amazing thing happen. Two bitter rivals, the Green Party and the NDP, let's call it what it is, have come together to help us stop Kinder Morgan. How's that? That's how politics should work, and that's how it's working in this province. We have fantastic ministers now that are on our side. What do you know? We've got the great Tom Berger, the environmental champion, who is on our side and fighting for us in courts. That is so important. We have such a major ally now that I feel in my bones we're going to win. Now, it's individual power that brought you here today, and it's individual power that you cast your ballot. That's individual right. But what we have here is collective action, and that is what is so important. Let's hear it for all of us coming together. Touch your neighbor and say, this is how we win. This is how we win. Yeah, our personal power put together with our collective action is stronger than any corporation. You know that, right? Yeah. Our personal power put together into collective action is stronger than any stupid Minister of Natural Resources that's going to try to push this thing through. Yeah. You know that, right? We can beat Jim Carr. Yeah. He's wrong. He's wrong. Now, our collective action is what we have to continue to do. So I'll be back in Ottawa. The House is sitting. I've made over 70 speeches against Kinder Morgan in the House of Commons. I heckle Jim Carr every chance I get. Yeah. And we're going to keep it up. Job when you leave here feeling good because we're going to win is to keep the pressure up. You've got to talk to your local politicians, you've got to talk to politicians that you run into, and you've got to say they have to come on our side. Don't you agree? Yeah. We have powerful allies now in Victoria, but we also have very powerful allies, of course, with our First Nations partners. Our First Nations communities have led the fight when it comes to Kinder Morgan, and we're so grateful for this. Through the summer, I've had a chance to meet with a number of First Nations leaders up and down the pipeline route, a very, very humbling experience, and it makes me want to fight even more. Meeting with the Coldwater Nation, for example, where they took me through where the current pipeline goes to their reserve, through their community, put in place before they had voting rights or before they could hire lawyers. That is atrocious, and that cannot be, this legacy cannot be continued. Don't you agree? This is wrong. Wrong. We've also heard about the Secwepemc, who are building tiny little houses along the pipeline road. So you should continue the great work you're doing here today. You should make sure that you tell politicians that they're wrong and they have to come on our side of the barricades. You also have to support your First Nations. You have to donate to help for the court cases, but you also have to get somebody else involved. You have to go to maybe one of your skeptic friends and you have to say, only you can stop this. Join with me. What do you say? You're going to go get a friend and you're going to get him to help? So I'd like to end by thanking the organizers of this great event. Thank you very much for all your work. This takes a lot of work to do to get this happening, and it's done in such a professional and very gracious way. We really have to say thank you very much for all this work. It is so important. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep fighting, right? Yeah. We're going to use your personal power. We're going to use our collective action, and we're going to beat Kinder Morgan. Thank you very much for having me today. Keep fighting.
Really cool hat. So he's got a really cool top hat made out of zebra.